Hello and welcome. This is Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne, and this is part 2 of a 3-part video series where I'm putting together some little gifts and little goodie bags for a ton of the staff at my son's high school because my son is graduating Sunday of this week. So I'm videoing these ahead of time, so these will be put out to be watched one every day this week. So they will be in order of 1, 2, 3, just so you know, so you don't have to wait like a week to see what everything's going to look like put together. In video 1, let me grab them. We made a whole bunch of these. I made a whole bunch of these. I'm making approximately 35. This video 2, we are going to be taking some candy. Let me grab the candy. They are the Ghirardelli little chocolate squares. And I'm making, it kind of looks like a little tea bag. I think it's adorable. So we're making a little wrapped thing, and it's going to sit inside here along with some other goodies as well. And then we're going to wrap all of this up. So for this video, we're just making these in this video. Now, if you saw my video of the Stamping Up haul where I purchased a huge amount of stuff, that is what most of these supplies are from. So we're going to be using this hole punch, which does the tag stuff. Love this one. We're going to be doing this hole punch, which does this, and it coordinates with this stamp set. This was a celebration, the Pretty Petites, and I'm using the thank you stamp. And we don't need this here. I have a whole bunch of these that I have already pre-done, but I'm going to do them again with you. I love this. So simple and easy. And look at how cute it looks on that. I mean, it's just adorable. And then you just add a little ribbon to give a little visual interest. So simple. This, I think, looks so much better than what it is, in all honesty. I mean, this is super, super, super simple. So let me show you how we're going to do this. And if I have any of these left over, these are going to be part of the goodie bag that's going to be at my son's graduation party. So let's get started. We'll start with this right here. Move some of these out of the way. And all I'm using are scrap papers. Seriously, scrap papers for everything. In the bundle that I bought, there was a whole bunch of offcuts. So I took that bucket of offcuts, and that's how I made these. This is an offcut from the white paper that I'm using. I know it's white on white, sorry, but just trust me, it's there. And let me grab an ink pad. I'm trying to grab a color that I didn't use already. Oh, that, nope, we'll use that one. And then let's grab a stamp block. So a lot of this stuff is just using up my scraps, and I am loving that. Here it is. This stamp. Gonna get ink all over me. Yep, got ink all over me. We don't need this here. I'm using the VersaFine Monarch. For the other ones that I showed you, I used a combination of VersaFine and Stamping Up inks. Kind of grabbed what was on my desk that I thought would coordinate. So I'm just doing a whole bunch of these. I am making considerably more than what I need because I will keep these and use them when I make some greeting cards. Put all that away. I have a cloth here. Let me wipe that off. Put that away. I have so many projects going all at once. I'm trying to stay organized. Haha. And then this, I don't even know what this is called, but it coordinates with that stamp set. In this case, I stamped them first. And I'm just coming through here. That's the finished one. They're adorable. And there was all different sayings in that stamp set. I mean, really, it's a great stamp set. Great coordinating thing. If I could find any more of the set that coordinates with this, other sets, because I know a lot of times they have multiple sets that coordinate with their punches. It would probably be that one. I'm not going to use that one. That one doesn't stamp right. But these are just a really simple way of saying thank you for the years, the 4 years. Now, I do typically give Christmas gifts and end of the year gifts. I don't give things during teacher appreciation because hopefully they're getting things from other students. I hope. Doesn't necessarily mean they are. I like to give things at different times. Okay, let's grab some of these things here. Now, these, let me give you my measurements. These were a whole bunch of offcuts that were in the box, but it happened to work. So measurement-wise, this is 5 1/4 by 2. 5 1/4 by 2. So what I did is I folded them in half. Now, these are all double-sided paper, so I just needed to decide which side do I like better. And by using all offcuts, I love that I'm using up stuff. So typically I give gifts to everybody, / my son, gives gifts to everybody at Christmas time, including all the people that work in the cafeteria. Now, I have to tell you, I have such a great story for this. My son has, see, isn't that adorable? So I just folded it in half, punched it in there, and it doesn't punch off the top. It just punches off the sides, and that, it's adorable. Love this. Looks like a tag, looks like a tea bag as well. Loving this. So anyways, we always give to everybody, including the gals at the cafeteria. Since my son has too many food allergies, they keep him safe. And can I just say a big hurrah to the state of Maine that feeds all the children at the schools for free. Free! And they accommodate his food allergies. Because in the very beginning, my son started to go to school, not this year, but last year. He's a senior now, but his junior year was the first year he went back to school in 8 years because of his health. He's been doing school at home. And with a tutor. The school used to send a tutor to us. And so we're done with this. Let's move this. So I called them up to see if they could accommodate his allergies because, you know, I seriously had my doubts. And I spoke to the head of food services. You knew he was a great guy because his name is Chris. So Chris and I got buddy, and he's like, yes, we can accommodate him. We accommodate people with a dairy allergy, and we accommodate people with gluten allergy. We can combine them, and that's not a problem. Don't worry about it. We'll prepare things separately, and they told him how to, because they have a salad bar at school, and they're like, he can't eat from the salad bar because of cross-contamination, but we'll prepare him things if he wants to let us know. But frankly, there's not going to be a ton of options for him. So it just became, just make me whatever. They have always been so nice to him. They kept all his food aside, so he used to have to go and get his food separately every single day. in a separate line and, you know, all that stuff. And last year my son got an award for something. And one of the cafeteria gals were there. She was also getting an award for something too. And they did, all the staff and the students at this one award ceremony. And she came up to me, she sought me out, and she's like, "Are you his mom?" And I said, "Yes, I am." "Oh, I just want to tell you how polite he is." Of course, I'm like, who are you talking about? She's like, "Oh, he's always so kind and he's so polite. He's such a delight." And I'm like, "Thank you. I really appreciate it." And, you know, you send your kids off into the world and you hope they're polite. You know they are not always polite at home. Oh, do you know that? I know that. I don't know if you know that, but I know that. Ugh. But I'm glad to hear that he was treating these, and I'm doing like foam squares on the back of these while I'm yakking away. So I'm just putting a foam square on the back of each one. So, you know, you send your kids off into the world and you hope they treat their fellow humans with some level of decorum. And she was raving about my son. And I thought, oh, he's got you fooled. But I was very, very proud and very, very happy to hear that. So anyways, long story short, fast forward to last week. My son's messaging me from school. And he's like, "You won't believe it." I said, "What?" "The cafeteria women wrote me a letter." I said, "Well, what'd the letter say?" "They were thanking me for always being so polite and kind, and that they were going to miss me because I'm graduating." And they gave him a $10 gift card to a local, it's called Aroma Joe's. It's a drink. You get like coffees and iced teas and that type of thing. It's a local sort of drive-through kind of place. They gave him a $10 gift card. And he said, "I waited to open it till I was sitting down in the cafeteria with my girlfriend. I wanted to open it in front of her." So much for being polite. He's like, "I wanted to tell her, see, I told you they liked me." Like, can you be a little more polite to her? I thought that was a little crappy, but he did it on purpose to be silly. But anyways, they acknowledged him for being kind and polite and how much they were going to miss him. And I'm very, very pleased that he has been so kind to people that they recognize him for it. But on the other hand, I am so sad that these other children treat them like crap, clearly, that they singled my son out. And I said, "Did anybody else get one of those?" And he says, "No, I don't think so." He says, "I didn't see anybody else get one." I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not there. But I'm happy that we acknowledge everybody when we give gifts. And some of these are for the cafeteria gals, and we always give to Chris too. He's the food services coordinator, head one guy. So I've got a whole collection of these here. I'm just going to kind of stop there. So I'm just using some foam tape that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut it right in the middle to make little smaller pieces. It was easier on my hands. It was easier on everything to just cut it and make smaller pieces. So the next thing that I want to do, because I have a stack of these, I have a bigger stack over there that I haven't even done yet. So what I do is I take the square, I tuck this in, I tuck this down, and then I get a piece of double-sided tape. Tuck that in. The double-sided tape is going to hold the top. Whoops. Hold the top down. Press it down. Peel off the backing. And I'm just going to stick it in here into my little tea bag looking thing. So it's stuck just to one side. So I tucked this in, And then I am going to choose whichever ribbon matches. So I have some yellow and I have some maroon already pre-cut. I have sort of different sizes. This one is the shorter one. That one's 6 inches. This one is like 8 inches. So I don't know what I was thinking. I cut them completely different sizes. This is a little bit thicker ribbon than what I would normally put through this. I kind of wanted something a little bit thinner. This is what I had. This is what I'm working with. I've gone out and I've bought some supplies for this, like the chocolates and, you know, things like that. The tea, we're going to be putting tea in, and some stickers. We're going to be putting some stickers in. So, I mean, I've bought some things. I didn't want to buy so much. Here's a green one. That's what I was looking for. And then I just put this right on the front. I'm not inking around this. I inked around all the other stuff. I'm not inking around this because, you know, I'm tired. I got a lot of these to make. And these are the Ghirardelli Squares Dark Chocolate Sea Salt Caramel. I'm allergic to these. Can't eat them. Don't know what they taste like. I have no clue. I hear they're good. And I know Stampin' Up! Stuff, and most of these supplies that I'm using are Stampin' Up! Does a lot with like wrapping candy and that type of stuff. And I know they do a lot with these candies specifically. So I thought, well, that will be kind of cute. And I think they are cute. You know, I'm not putting a lot of things in these little pouches that I'm giving them, but I just want a token of, hey, thanks. I mean, I have given them gifts over the years. I always give Christmas gifts and end of the year gifts, like I said. And I want my son to know, you know, it's nice to show people that you appreciate them. He doesn't really get it with me. No, I don't like that. But he seems to get it with other people. Ay, ay, ay. I have to tell him, yeah, no, you're giving a Christmas gift to everybody. It's nice to give one to your mother. I'm glad he gets it with other people. And I think he does it just to get my goat. And my goat is gone, let me tell you. I keep telling him, someday you're going to miss your mother. So you better be kind. I'm not sure he got the memo. I just think these are adorable. And it brings a little bit of whimsy and a little bit of color. You know, I like color. I like to do things with lots of color. Put that one over there. So I'm just going to kind of pile these together. You're just going to craft along with me as I put these together. And having them already pre-folded helps. And then this just sticks it in, kind of holds it in there. And I like working with the double-sided papers because it's so pretty on both sides. Let's do the yellow. If I didn't have to do so many, I maybe would have gotten a little bit more fancier with these. But because I'm making 35, I'm getting tired. And I was given last minute notice to get these done. You know, from my thoughtful child. Came home Friday and he's like, by the way, Monday's my last day of school. I want everything made by Monday. Because he knew I was going to make things for people. And I told him, you know, this is what you do. You make things for people to let them know and appreciate them. Yeah. His last day of school is not Monday. He's choosing to go in other days so he can have lunch with his girlfriend. Which is cute. He went to school on senior skip day. Like, what crazy kid does this? Very crazy. Whatever. So he's still looking for a job. He's done 2 through this school program. And, oof, really, really, really wanted him to get one of them. It didn't happen, but it is what it is. Fingers crossed that one's going to come through very soon. So I'm only tying these once because these I trimmed a little, these ribbons, I cut a little short. And hey, it is what it is. So this is basically the project. I think these are adorable. I'm going to keep making these because I have 35 plus to make. And if I have extras of these and stuff, I'm going to make them for, like I said, my son's graduation party. So thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know, you need to sit and watch me make all of these, but that's how I do it. Super simple, super easy. You can probably just cut these yourself if you didn't have all the punches. And I think it's easy. I think it's cute. I think it's something that's going to bring a smile to somebody's face. I hope. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And check out my website, elementalenерgieswithchrisanne.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care and be free.